Maharaj. Very simple. Trinadapi sunijina, Darodapi sahishnuna, Amanina manatina, Kirtaniya Sadohari. I must become more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. I have to give respect to all living beings and not expect any respect from others. If you follow this, your chanting becomes from Namaparad, it turns to Namapas or Shuddhanam, pure name. Otherwise, we will always move on the level of the mind. And if you cannot control your mind, he is constantly committing offense, constantly defending, or I feel constantly attacked and I must fight back. It always goes on in the mind. Mind is always, what is the mind? Mind is an instrument, an energy. It is described. We get a seminar in Mayapur many years ago. Mind is an energy. What duty has the mind? The mind is constantly choosing what is for enjoyment for me, what is good for bodily enjoyment and mental enjoyment, of course. He always searching for these things. And he avoiding those what would be good for me, for my spiritual understanding, or for my real self. So this is the first thing we have to learn to control the mind. Anybody here who can control his mind? Anybody is the master of his mind? Or we are the slave of the mind? Mind constantly tells us what to do. And we are running. Yes, my dear mind. So unless and until we have not mastered our mind, it is very difficult to advance in spiritual life. One who becomes or controls the mind, or is not disturbed from the mind. This is actually the real in the Upanishad is stated. Manasa, Gaudiya, all these things, manasa, the mind, there has to be called anger, enviousness, the lusty desire. All these things you must control. If you are able to, not controlling, actually they say in reality, the real translation is, you have to tolerate it and not act according to this. what the mind is telling you. Then you become a master of the mind. You will not be disturbed, and the mind will immediately, he will be afraid. He will not disturb us. So, one who can tolerate this, it is said in the shloka, he is able to accept disciple in the whole universe. Because the whole universe, all demigods and demons and whatever siddhas, and they are under the control of a mind to a certain level. So the first thing is, this we have to learn. As a yogi, it is the most difficult thing. We have to understand it is not a cheap thing. The teachings how to chant the Shuddhanam or offenselessly. So when you are not hear your mind, when you tolerate it and just let it pass, not identify with, then he will pass. He will appear to us, but he will pass. But we have not learned these things. The mind is coming and I say, yes, what do you have to tell me? And then you dive into an illusion, in Maya. And in this way, you're committing, or we are committing many offenses. What means the whole world nobody can control. And everywhere is just, everything goes in a very terrible situation. Wars, and nature is not tolerating the laws of material nature. This is all connected together. So we cannot separate. To control the mind means you real can tolerate. Control is very difficult. We can almost not. Yogis try to do this artificially for thousands of years. They may control the mind, but as soon as they are not careful, they may immediately get captured by the mind and dive again into the material plane. And we are all guided by the mind. There's nothing spiritual. We have not experienced, not one is here. We must go beyond the mind, beyond the intellect, and then is the false ego. It is the most difficult to conquer it. I identify with this body, with this country, with this everything, family and bodily conception, man or a dog or a monkey or a lady or demigod, whatever. I identify, I think I'm that. But it is all belongs to the illusory energy, Maya. So as long as we have not learned, we have not conquered mind, we will not realize who is Krishna. Because we cannot approach him on the mental level. Impossible. Don't think that it is possible. You must be free from this mundane conception of life. And how to get out of it? That vidi pranipatina pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadashina. Bhagavad Gita said, if you want to know the truth, what you have to do?
Asking questions.
You have to approach a bona fide spiritual master or sadhu or guru. And what to do? We have to surrender, we have to serve him. We have to ask questions in a humble state of mind, not in a challenging way. In a humble state of mind. Because if we ask in a challenging way or then we want just the answer we want just that our mental our mind gets satisfied. He must answer exactly so that I am satisfied. But this is not, you cannot get the truth like this. In a humble state of mind, I must open, I must surrender, I must accept the truth as it is. Rami Maharaj, he translated Bhagavad Gita as it is. And we have to learn from such personalities who have realized why they can tell us what is the real truth. Because they have seen the truth. They have realized they are not under the control of mind. They are not committing offense. They are they have already crossed the plane of temporary, mundane conception of life. So in this way we can advance, we can step by step we can make progress. So not everybody can accept this because we are very attached to our friends in between the years. Yeah. We like to serve them. You go out in the street, you buy this, get this. Yeah. Fulfill your material desires, you know. Everybody knows what the mind is telling us. This we are serving. Even the so-called good things, sometimes we think, what means surrender? What means giving up the controlling your mind? I have to do things what bona fide sadhu ask me to do, or Gurudev ask me to do. I may like or may not like it, but I will do it. This is how you learn in the beginning. He will teach us. You may like it or may not like it. So the mind is not allowed to say, he will tell you what to do and it will go against you. You will. So then you can check how sincere I am, really. I really want to know it or no, so far, but I have my private life. Gurudev tells you there's a rope lying on the floor, and he tells his disciple, be careful, there's a snake. You take a stick and you beat it. But the disciple says, no, Gurudev, this is not a snake, this is a rope. You're fool, Guru Maharaj say. You beat it. You have to beat it. It's dangerous. Then the disciple thinks, okay, I will beat the rope. And then he beats the rope, and then the Guru says, can you not see this is a rope? Why are you beating a rope? This means surrender. Whatever it may be, it's only these things. Surrender means that our mind may say this or that. But if we get divine advice from higher, he is breaking or destroying our mind, who gives us only troubles. Of course, he may think, but my mind gives me only joy. I'm running always for happiness, and I get sometimes a few minutes every day, or not. When you are, as the Upanishad says, when you get the master of the mind, then you can accept disciples in the whole universe. There's no question of distance. Universe means everything. But what means everything? Everything means Krishna. So we have to want it, we have to surrender to Krishna. And he may test us all the time. You really want? No, you don't want it. Okay. You go your way, as you think, as you like. He gives free will. You do as you like. When we become seer, then we can see. You stay, you make this, you do this, every day the same, the rest of your life. The real sincere devotee says, yes, Gurudev, this is my life. I will do whatever you ask me. Then next day he may change, he may say, you take this. And later he may say, you take, you will become closer and closer and understand more and more what it really means. If you want to go to Krishna or to Vaikuntha, there is no question of your mind. You cannot even come near Jai and Vijay. He will immediately say, stop, my dear. There's no entrance. You cannot enter. What a mess you would make with your mind. Can you just imagine? Everybody can see everything. Don't imagine even. You will get mad. But we have no understanding of our spiritual life. It's only external. It's only mundane. Everything is on the bodily conception. I go to there because there's nice place, nice. What I mean, I want to enjoy. The desire for enjoyment is there. But devotional service is not meant for my enjoyment. Devotional service is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. So I have to give up this thinking of I and my. This is Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is the beginning level, the very, very beginning level of spiritual life. But this is without understanding, without realizing, without getting any experience, without surrender. We are not able to understand what is spiritual life. Here is just concoction what we think, what is spiritual life. When you sing this Boy George, is the name, I think. Yeah, he sings also Hare Krishna in one, but he is anyway, but is not a devotee in that sense, I would say. And you hear the chanting of pure devotee, and you think this is the same. He is chanting and he is chanting. Then you have not understood anything. Then we are blind, spiritually blind. It is like day and night difference. It is like North Pole and South Pole. So much difference. And the pure devotee chanting name Krishna may manifest. Yes, different. But you can, with your mundane eyes, with your mundane senses, you cannot check these things. We have to get finer, more subtle senses, spiritual senses, spiritual eyes to see. It is not a cheap thing. This Krishna consciousness or these teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all the Vaishnava Shastras. Bhagavatam can only be understood by those who have self-realized. But we all read Bhagavatam. But we must hear from a self-realized person. Otherwise, we will not understand. That's because Swami Maharaj called the title Bhagavad Gita as it is, not as we are speculating on, as we think that it is. That's because we have to accept a bona fide guide who is explaining. It sounds very difficult when we hear this, but in reality it is most simple. It is only difficult because our mind is so absorbed in this mundane conception that we are not able to understand the most natural. We are spiritual beings, we are all spiritual beings, we are not the body. We are meant for enjoyment, for Krishna's enjoyment. And this will be our perfect position, perfect happiness we will experience when we are able to satisfy the source where we are coming from. Now we are alone in this. We are trying to find, but without help you will hopeless. You will come again and again and again in different forms and bodies to try to find how can I enjoy it? How can I become the perfect enjoyer? But this is not the goal of real devotees. This is what we are trying. That's because we are all here. And that is because there are everywhere in this planet Earth now is chaos, fighting each other. Everyone wants to become God, wants to control, wants to enjoy. It's very simple. There's something on this topic more or some other question? I don't know, I don't hope I make offense to anyone here. Please excuse me. Yes?
I want to ask what to do if you are actually enjoying your service. If there is some service that you like to do and they are enjoying it while doing that, what to do with that?
This is not service. Service, a devotee, real devotee, he always thinks, will my dear Lord like it what I do? I do it for his pleasure, so that I become once qualified to serve him. Then service becomes ecstasy. But if I enjoy this service, then it is not meant for Krishna. I like it. I and my. It is a very different. These things, mostly we are not conscious of this. It is not that we should become happy. The goal is not that our happiness when you want to become or want to go home, back home. He must be happy. And this is not an easy thing. What? And what is for me? What is left for me? When you start thinking, what I'm doing now, do I like it to do for me, that I am happy? Or is Krishna happy with this? It's the same activity. But if I think I want to please the Lord, then you will see it turns in another, complete in a different state.
But what if both are going in the same time? Like, I mean, I originally started with the idea of pleasing Lord or Guru or whatever, and in the process I really just enjoy it because it's such a nice thing to do. So
yes.
And it's like a mix both together. So,
We just have to think that one thing we have to understand. It is like in the most high transcendental plane, Vrindavan, the Gopas or the Gopis, they are most intimate. They do not care for themselves. They only can think is, how can I please him? What can I do? And even this thinking, I like it now to do this for Krishna, it turns again back to I like it. But they're always greedy, they're always enthusiastic. What can I do? What can I do to please the Lord? And I have to give up this, I may like it or may not like it, you know. Now, there is a different thing, but we are not speaking about, we are not there now. We are here in the material world. Here, this mentality is very dominant. We are here to enjoy this material world. And even you start to do this, you think for Krishna, When you do it for Krishna, you are not thinking, oh, I enjoy to do this. You must always think he is enjoying. He's enjoying me. I am here for his enjoyment. We are all here, original. Because we are, in one sense, we are Krishna. We are part of him. So we have to become again back to this position. If he is happy, automatically. But if we are turned from, it is like when we say we do it for Krishna here in the material world. Actually, go a little deeper, then you will realize your motivation is actually, I chant Hare Krishna and sing and make Krishna for Krishna, Kirtan for Krishna or whatever I do. But in reality, I want to enjoy the Kirtan. Kirtan what is done for my enjoyment, for the enjoyment of others. Even they may all like it for or not. It is not service. The same way one is from professional singer, he chants for money, Krishna songs. It's not service, it's not. Service is something what is pure service, Shuddha. Pure service cannot be attained so easily. We have to do step by step. There's no question of I enjoying the gopis, never think like this. When one makes this betel nut, tambula. So, Bhaktivinoda in his form, this is one of his service. He thinks not one moment that I like to do this. He's constantly always focusing on Krishna. He will take it, maybe I make it nice, more nice. He will take it. It is automatically. It is natural. It is natural in us, all of us. But now we, in the material world, the mentality is we want to enjoy. We want to enjoy everything, whatever is enjoyable. And to say, first I enjoy, it's like cooking, I like this and this. I will cook for Krishna this. This is not cooking for Krishna. This is cooking, I like it. Krishna may like, he accepts from his pure devotees, even there's examples of Babajis, they had nothing. But they got the eggplant, so he offered the eggplant raw, uncooked. With such devotion. And after, he took the raw and ate it because it was prasad, accepted by the Lord. It is very subtle, it goes more subtle, is we have not learned, unfortunately. Even amongst the devotees, very rare, you will find this. But pure devotion has to be, at least we should know in what direction it goes. It is not my personal opinion. This is the teachings of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and disciple succession authorized. Our Prabhupada, our Gurudev, Srila Maharaj, Swami Maharaj, all of them the same. But his preaching was also very simple when he came to the West, Swami Maharaj. And they still continue. They are not coming forward. They're not. We are not this body. This is just this, simple. But to realize it, it is another thing. We are spirit. I don't know if you could follow.
I'm really happy that you're speaking about these things because it's very rare to hear that. And I think that's what we really need to hear.
Yes. It is also very rare that one can hear these things. But truth is truth, our Gurudev always said. He was speaking very strongly. So he did not care. He did not care many disciples or many, or that everybody likes him. He just told the truth. Maybe one will understand. One will become sincere. Then he thought, also Swami Maharaj said this. Then Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he said, same. He has thousands of disciples. 64, I think. 64,000 disciples. In fact, if one becomes a pure devotee, then he thinks it is successful. My life was not wasted. Of course, the devotee never thinks he can make devotees. It is always Krishna. It is the Lord's mercy. But by the blessing and the help of a pure devotee, it is possible to attain deeper understanding. We have a few minutes more. So, nowadays preaching is business. It is like it is not, unfortunately, we have not many such devotees as Swami Maharaj and our Gurudev, Prabhupada, Srila Maharaj nowadays. So, we have to focus on the essence. Not the form is important, the spirit is important. What I have understood, what I have realized in my heart. The external, it has no meaning. It is not, says not anything. We have to realize this. So sincerity, Srila Goswami Maharaj said, what is necessary? Sincerity and humility. Only these two things. I want to know, I really want to know what happened with me, where I'm coming from, where I'm going. Who I am, why I am here, what is the reason. But this question, nobody is interested. Every year we come more close to death, not that you start living, you start dying. Birth means you start dying. This is fact. But nobody thinks, where did I come from? Where? What will happen to me? We are only on the external level, we try to do something, not understanding why we are doing, for whom, for what. It will not come automatically. Surrender, surrender, surrender is the thing. Not you can turn or you can learn it, parrot also to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But he will not become pure devotee. This is not if I move to these places or to this studio, what I like to do, what I think what is best, this is also not the way. I must desire, I want to really know what is really going on. This desire, then Krishna will help us and he will inspire us and he will reveal to us what is the real thing. So, you may think this is not what I want to hear. This is okay, no problem. For me, no problem. But if you want to know these things, don't think that you will get one day in a newspaper. It will stay there. What is the purpose? What is where? They are not. Life comes from life is one book I was reading a long time ago. Life comes from life, means spirit comes from spirit. It is not that from a book realization will come. You can read all the Vedas. But the understanding in the life, the spirit will not come from the book. You will get knowledge, theoretical knowledge. But if you really want to understand the spirit life, our real position, you must approach in a way as it is described in the Shastra. So, now time is over. Can stop. No question? Please excuse me if I offended someone. Jai Sri Gurudev Nitya Leela Bhavistam Vishnupara Paramahamsa Vigacharya Stota Sasi Srimad Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananda Goti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanand.